We've been having some what they call Arizona monsoon. Hey, this is a cool, jets out here in Gilbert, Arizona. Thought I'd come out and look around. I just posted a video about Flat Earth, Globalists, Jehovah's Witnesses, New World Order, Agenda Connection, but if you guys are interested in that kind of stuff, I think I'll make this a part two. A part two while I'm out and just kind of strolling here, looking around. But so years ago, back in the late 80s, really the reason why I got involved with Jehovah's Witnesses, and that's probably what I want to talk about more than anything here, didn't have anything to do with God. God, as you understand God and the concept of the Bible. When I was a kid growing up, I was raised Reorganized Latter-day Saints, which is a split between the LDS, which is basically your Mormons. They split. They had a split years ago, just like the Watchtower Bible and Tract Society had a split with the Bible students. But anyway, and like I said in my last video, I'm not a religion hater by no means. And the reason one of the reasons why I got involved with the Jehovah's Witnesses is because, they told me they'd read the Bible with me, teach me the Bible. Because when I was a kid growing up, we had one of those big desktop Bibles. One of them, like, 4 inches thick with all the pictures. Great big one. I think my parents got it probably when they got married. Anyway, one time I asked Dad, I said, well, how come the letters, it was red lettered. Guys know what a red lettered Bible is, right? So anyway, it was a red lettered Bible. And so I asked Dad, my dad never went to church in his life, never been baptized, but he always read the Bible. That's screwy to me. Anyway, so hey, what happened was, Jehovah's Witnesses, of course at the time, things was kind of, down on my luck. A girlfriend I had at the time, her daughter was sick with asthma so bad she couldn't even breathe. It was emotionally stressful, and somebody, I discussing this with somebody, then, they brought up the topic Jehovah's Witnesses, because I said, yeah, there ain't no God. But, I was almost 30 years old. I didn't believe in government. I knew government was criminals. I knew the government was criminals, Growing up, war is wrong. It just was a basic instinct for me, I grew up in the Vietnam era in the 70s, going to high school, thinking that when I graduated, I was going to have to go to Vietnam. And I was thinking to myself, I just graduated from high school. I don't want to be killed by some crazy shit going on in a jungle where it's all, jungle vine crap. And at the time in the 70s, people thought like that. You were considered what? You were considered a traitor. A traitor. So yeah, I was, from the time I graduated from high school until I got up into my late 20s before I got involved with Jehovah's Witnesses. I think I was 29 when I started studying with this elder up in Macon, Missouri. But anyway, like I said, I told the elder that came to my house to study with me, I said, if there's a true religion, I'll just join all of them. That way I'll have all the bases covered. And that was basically my mentality. It never was about God in my subconscious mind looking back on it per se. But, if that has to be a part of your subjection to a higher power. But, I like Jehovah's Witnesses religion because they didn't believe in hellfire, government sucked and all that, all that sound logical. And you slowly become as you get brainwashed by these kinds of cult mind control religions, you slowly become numb of the reality that you're leaving. You forget about it, you know, the reality that you're leaving. And like people that make YouTube videos about Jehovah's Witnesses, the love bombing, they're hugging, you know, and the friendship, and, you know, yada, yada, yada. You get into it. If you get into it, yeah, I know there's Jehovah's Witnesses that probably spend their whole life going to Kingdom Hall and never have more than 1 or 2 friends at the hall. But my family, we had lots and lots of friends. You know, we had picnics, we had camping outings, we had all kinds of stuff going on all the time, constantly for, you know, years in Missouri. It was 5, 6, 7 years in Missouri before we came down here, and about the same 7 years down here in Arizona. But anyway, I'm going to double back. I don't want to make this too long. This is my walk, though. I go out over through there, Ball Diamond, double back around, clear back out the front road, but it takes me about 50 minutes. But for people who want to know about me, you know, because Propaganda Techniques is out there on YouTube, you know. He's actually, I think he's been studying to be a lawyer. He used to be one of Jehovah's Witnesses. Well, I'm not criticizing Propaganda Techniques, but I don't have any respect for lawyers or judges or any of them, because most of them are con artists. You know, when you really get into understanding our system, the Jehovah's Witnesses are right. The system as it exists is all lies and bullshit, but they are a part of it too. Whatever. You know, the religious personification of everything. In Bible text, I've made statements a long time ago that the Bible wasn't written by spiritually men that believed in God. It was written by atheists that was trying to write stories, literature, to personify things. And personified means make them into a person, but, you know, to make physical application of things. It doesn't have to be always a person, you know. Like I pointed out, the moon, you know, God pouring out his bowls of anger. If you haven't seen that video, you might want to check into it. See, this is where you wake up. You know, Jehovah's Witnesses need to wake up, because it's in their face. Their companion magazine to the Watchtower is called The Awake. Oh, The Awake. But they don't get it. I didn't get it. You know, when you have... See, I really believe the Watchtower was designed for a lot of different things. Probably be a format construct for corporate America as globalization. They knew globalization was going to happen. When you move into modern technology like cars, and cars were coming on the scene at the turn of the 19th century, you know. Yeah, they know. They're always looking 100 to 200 years ahead. That's how they operate. So, that's how big business, big government operates. And they wasn't necessarily big business, big government back then. They were kingdoms, you know. European kingdoms in America. That's why you had the colonies, you know. The colonies were representations of different, you know, probably governments, kingdoms, whatever. European empires. I don't study this shit. I didn't care about it because it was in my face when I was young that they're all just full of shit. That's why I didn't care about holidays before I became one of Jehovah's Witnesses. I never voted in my life. I've never voted in my life because I knew voting and all the way it was set up is just bullshit. It was just simple logic to me as a young kid, you know. So yeah, I lived my life in bliss up until I was 30. Ski boats, camping, having fun with my friends, going to the bars, going to comedy shows, going to movies, doing all kinds of fun stuff, you know. Then I got involved with Jehovah's Witnesses after experiencing some mental and emotional stress and other things, and got sucked into that by somebody that was not even one of Jehovah's Witnesses. In fact, it was the gal I was living with, ex-husband. And it was his daughter that had serious asthma problems, and you know, we sat in a hospital lobby, chit-chatting, you know, pretty much the whole night when she was having this asthma attack. She was telling me, he had been studying with Jehovah's Witnesses, and of course his ex-wife was one of Jehovah's Witnesses when he was married to her, and he wasn't, of course. So anyway, but he kind of fell out of it pretty fast, and I think it's because he figured it out, you know. He figured out some of the scams. But hey, I'm gonna end this right here. We're heading back. We got the crew in here trying to clean up. It's quite a mess out here. So you guys thumb up, like, subscribe, or don't. But I'm just gonna put out some basic Jehovah's Witnesses concept. Oh, I'll add a quick story to the end. My wife and I, after we got involved, after she got involved, excuse me, with me, one of Jehovah's Witnesses, we got married. Her mother got involved with a religion, which is the Baptist church. She still goes. But this is an interesting story. Her mother, invited me and Lori to the Baptist temple one night because they was going to have a astronomy. Hey guys, an astronomy, a bunch of astronomers out there looking up at the stars, right? And they wanted us, you know, she wanted us to go, you know, and experience looking at the stars. And I think I remember looking through one of the telescopes, with probably a $10,000 telescope, seeing something like, what was it? I think it wasn't Saturn, I think it was Jupiter that night. But anyway, yeah, so what? It was my, she's my ex-mother-in-law now. Was she whining to her pastor about, oh, my daughter's got married to one of Jehovah's Witnesses, yada, yada, yada. So he says, oh, we got an astronomy night. Invite them out so they can look at the stars and marvel the creation. You see, marvel the creation. Get it? Yeah, he knows. He probably knew if that's the scenario. And more than likely, it probably is. So she invited us there, of course. There must have been 20 people with, you know, expensive telescope equipment in the parking lot of a Baptist church. Does that make sense? You know, of course, I'd been involved with Jehovah's Witnesses for about a year and a half at the time, maybe a little longer. But hey, you get the story, right? Preachers know. Preachers are the liars. Hey, thumbs up, subscribe, guys.